Now, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard Trent Williams, the starting left tackle for the Washington Redskins, wants out of Washington now, according to Jason LaCanfora. And take this with a grain of salt because Jason LaCanfora is like known for being wrong on just about everything he reports. So take this with a grain of salt. What we do know is that Trent Williams wants out of Washington. He is holding out, but what Jason is saying is that it's not because of his contract. So he doesn't want a new contract. He just wants out because he doesn't like the way the Redskins handled his recent medical situation. So that's why he wants out. And, apparently he's not going to play for them or whatever. So, he wants to get cut or traded, apparently. So that brings up the question. Every time there's an offensive lineman that's released, every time there is an offensive lineman that wants to be traded or anything like that, the Texans are usually mentioned as a possible team that could make the move. And for obvious reasons, come on. Our O-line's trash! So, Trent Williams has been linked to the Texans as a possible trade candidate. And, there's Texans fans that are debating whether to go get Trent Williams or not. Now, if you guys don't know much about him, 2010 4th overall pick. He's 30 years old right now. He's going to be 31 whenever the season starts. 7-time Pro Bowler. Not that Pro Bowls really matter. And there is, some questions about his health. Trent Williams hasn't played 16 games since 2013. But the most games he's ever missed in a season is 6 games, and after 6, it's 4. So it's not like he's missing 12, 13 games, he's missing a few games. And I know some people are going to talk about his contract. Okay, how's his contract looking like? So his contract, or the rest of his contract, in 2019, he gets $14.7 million. And in 2020, he gets $14.6 million. Trent Williams is top 3 offensive tackle in the NFL. Top 3 left tackle in the NFL. Easily. The guy is dominant even at his age. Yes, a little bit injury prone, but when he plays, the guy is downright dominant. He can literally erase pass rushers from the game. You won't even see them make a play. That's how good this guy is. He's dominant in the run game and the pass game. And for $14.7 million, $14.6 million for the next 2 years, that's low-key a steal. Because if you look at what's his name? Nate Soldier got a few years ago. Mediocre tackle, by the way. He got $16.5 million a year for 3 years, I believe is what it was. Nate Soldier is basura. Trent Williams, top-notch tackle. So the contract situation is no issue. And if for whatever reason, I don't know, let's say Trent Williams falls and breaks his elbow, if you cut him in 2019, you save $9 million in cap. If you cut him in 2020, you save $13 million in cap. So, it's a good contract. He's in a good contract right now. Now, of course, when you talk about a trade, what would it cost to get him? Well, if you go back to 2017, the Texans, they got a 2018 third-round pick and a 2019 second-round pick for Dwayne Brown. That was back in 2017. And in my opinion, Trent Williams at this point in his career is way better than what Dwayne Brown was at that point in time. Now, Trent Williams, I think what he's worth right now, honestly, is a first-round pick. I know some of you guys might be like, what? A first-round pick? But yeah, I think Trent Williams is worth a first-round pick. I think the Redskins can legitimately get a first-round pick from a team. Why? Well, look at it this way. In the NFL, number one priority is quarterback. After you get the quarterback, you get the guy that can chase the quarterback. You know, the J.J. Watts, the Khalil Macks, and those guys. After you get the guy that chases the quarterback, you get the guy that protects the quarterback. You know, the Tyron Smith, Trent Williams, those guys. So, offensive linemen, left tackles in particular, are highly valued in the NFL. And especially now at this point in time where there seems to be an offensive line problem in the NFL. I mean, really, as Texans fans, we already know our O-line isn't very good. But if you take a look around everywhere else, there seems to be an offensive line problem just about anywhere except for, like, you know, Dallas, Tennessee maybe, Indianapolis, and of course Philadelphia. But for the most part, most teams have offensive line problems. So don't be surprised if Trent Williams gets traded to like any team like the Patriots, Panthers, Browns, Broncos, Chargers, Jets, Cardinals. You know, like, just off the top of my head, those are teams that I can think of that could really benefit from having Trent Williams. And going back to the Dwayne Brown trade, just look at what we got. A second and a third round pick for an aging, declining left tackle. Is he better than what we have? Sure, but I mean, if it was, you know, an aging, declining wide receiver, we would have gotten like a 4th or 5th round pick. But since it was a left tackle, you know, things change. Things are different. They're more expensive. Now, would the Texans go and get him? Probably not. I will say this, though. If Trent Williams would have came out, you know, before the draft, before free agency, and said, you know, I want out of Washington, you know, get me out of here, this place sucks, I think if it would have happened then, I 100% believe the Texans would have been calling. Like, 100%. But since, you know, it kind of happened now, then I don't think they'll do it because obviously they already drafted Titus Howard and Max Sharp, being 2 young tackles, one in the first round, one in the second. So they're probably going to give them time to, you know, develop and then go with what they have for now. Now, if it were up to me, that's a tough question, honestly. I'm on the fence with this one because I think a first round pick, it's a little too much, man. And I really like picking in the first round. But you got to look at the bigger picture sometimes. You know, Deshaun Watson, got to protect him. And you bring in Trent Williams. All of a sudden, you have a star left tackle. And then you put Martinez Rankin next to him, a young tackle. He can learn from Trent Williams. And then you'll have a good left guard, Nick Martin. He's average. You know, he's fine at center. Right guard, Zach Fulton. He's pretty decent as well. So all of a sudden, having a guy like Trent Williams there transforms your O-line. Like, Indianapolis last year or 2 years ago, they had a terrible O-line. But look at what one guy could do. Quentin Nelson, two guys, Braden Smith, but they kind of got lucky there. But Quentin Nelson, in my opinion, completely transformed the identity of their O-line from being soft push-arounds to, being these guys that go in there and dominate the game. And I feel like that's something Trent Williams can bring to the Texans as well. And not only that, then you have Titus Howard, who doesn't have to be thrown into the fire immediately, so he'd be learning behind Trent Williams, and so will Max Sharping. In fact, you'll probably have Max Sharping and Titus Howard competing for that right tackle spot, and then the loser really gets to sit behind Trent Williams for 2 years. And, say Trent Williams does go down, because he is considered an injury-prone player. Well, you know what? You have a second or a first-round pick right there ready to, play a few games until Trent Williams comes back. So I think getting Trent Williams would really put the Texans in a good situation in terms of, their O-line. It might make their O-line woes completely go away. I think he's that good of a player. But again, a first round pick for a 31-year-old, well, soon to be 31-year-old offensive tackle, I'm not sure if I can do it. So comment down below if you guys would trade for Trent Williams, or if you guys think the Texans should trade for Trent Williams. Not saying or not asking if you think the Texans would, because let's be honest, we know the answer to that. But do you guys think the Texans should? Or would you? Anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. Be sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.